Hi guys and girls, and welcome to Magic. So in this video I'm going to show you how to create a file upload and download endpoint using your Aista Magic cloudlet. So first go to Tools, open up Hyper-ID and select Modules. Let's create a folder called File Tests. Click carriage return, select your newly created folder, click the three icons here, click Active Folder, choose Macro. And then click Upload File Endpoint and click Execute. And that's it. You have a file upload endpoint. Now, if you, just to test it, I don't want to mess around with JWT tokens. I'm just going to open my endpoint for like everything and save it. And then I happen to have a Postman laying around here, which point I can now, let me just remove these guys to create it from scratch such that you can see it. I click F5. Copy the invocation URL, clicking it, I've now got it on my clipboard. Then I'm going to open up a new guy here, put it to put, paste in the URL, and then I am going to make sure the body becomes form data. And then I supply file, and I want, this is really annoying with Postman. Then I supply file here, and now I can create a file. So let me create the file first. Screenshot. Okay, so I now have a file on my desktop here, which I want to upload to my endpoint. Let me select my file, find desktop here, screenshot, blah, blah. Actually, let me rename it. Foo. Select file. Let me select my foo file here. And here we go, foo.png, and I'm sending the file. And as you can see here now, I'm getting back the full file name and the result of success from the HTTP endpoint. And I can now go back to my cloudlet. And if I now refresh Hyper-ID and I expand, etc., then you will see the file endpoint automatically created a file-test folder for me where I have my foo.png file. If I now want to have an endpoint where I'm returning this file, for instance, as an image, then all I got to do is choose active folder, choose macro, and then download image endpoint, for instance, at which point I'm asked for authentication and all that beautiful stuff. I'm just yet again going to remove the authentication because I don't want to mess around with JWT tokens in my Postman invocation. I want this YouTube video to be very, very fast. However, now if I go to, if I click F5, then I get the invocation URL again. However, this is obviously not a put endpoint, it's a get endpoint. So now when I create a new bugger in Postman, I need to make sure it's a get thing. Then I pass in the URL, and then I pass in, let me see, the name, image, foo.png. And there we go. I now have my file. And of course I can save this, right? Save to file. Response.png. Now, of course, at this point, I might want to add some business logic, such as, for instance, getting the correct file name, etc., etc. However, I want this video to be extremely fast and just demonstrating the core concepts. So I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to explain a couple of interesting things about the upload file endpoint and the download image.get endpoint. Which is that actually what you're being given here because of the accept multiple part / form data is that you're getting the raw stream. So when you see here now, first of all, I'm creating the folder, etc. / and then the name of my module. And then you see what it's actually doing here. It's actually saving the file as a stream. So it's getting a raw stream. So I mean, you can upload in theory at the very least, terabyte large files. Obviously, we're not giving you a terabyte with the Magic Cloudlet if you are signing up for a Cloudlet at Aista, unless you're choosing our enterprise version. But in theory, at the very least, you can upload terabytes of size files without exhausting the memory on your, because it's actually reading the file directly from the socket connection, the HTTP requests. And the same is true for download. If you see here now, we're never loading the file in its entirety and returning the bytes. We're actually opening the file as a stream, and then we're returning stream object itself to the HTTP response, such that the file is being directly streamed onto the HTTP response, obviously async for the record, such that this basically preserves maximum amount of memory. It doesn't exhaust your server when you are downloading files. Then we have some cache control stuff, etc., content type, etc., etc. Here we could apply, I can't remember the syntax for having the attachment file name coming down correctly, but in theory you could apply that according to the file name that's actually being requested. So anyways, I mean, 2 seconds, you got file upload, you got file download, at which point all you got to do is like apply whatever business logic you need for your specific Hyperlambda endpoints in your upload and download file endpoints. And of course, there's a download file part too. If I choose a macro here, you see I chose download image, right? There's also a download file endpoint here. Anyways, that's literally it for today's YouTube video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, click the subscribe, click the bell, and share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.